and welcoming Congressman Paul Ryan.
Hey everybody, how are you doing? Not much a good wet Zeppelin, huh? Couple things. First of all, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming out, and what a beautiful day it is. Badgers, game over, 52-7 over Maryland today. November 4, game over, Scott Walker defeats Mary Burke on Election Day. You've had a lot of great speakers today. You've heard what they've had to say. Let's think about Wednesday, November the 5th. What is it we want to think about that day? What is it we want to see? What do we want to wake up in that morning and know that what happened? We want to know that we did absolutely everything we could to make sure that that sweet taste of victory we had the night before was because of that extra effort we put in. Courage is on the ballot November the 4th. Courage is on the ballot. I've got to tell you, I've been spending the last month crisscrossing Wisconsin, going around the country, working with people who are running for the United States Senate, working with people who are running for U.S. House of Representatives. Everywhere I go, they say, Scott Walker's going to get reelected, right? I said, yeah, he's going to get reelected. We're going to fight through this. We're going to win. We're going to persevere. And they said, well, we hear that he's the #1 target in the country of all these unions that are trying to destroy him. I said, yeah, that's right. And look at what he's done. Look at what we persevered here in Wisconsin. 4 years, 3 elections, tens of millions of dollars of negative ads just pounding our state from outside. And do you know why that is? Because they want to send a message. The liberal special interest groups want to send a message to any other policymaker, governor, leader, that if you try these reforms, we'll get you. We're not going to let that message be sent, are we? We're not going to let that happen. Here's why courage is on the ballot. We had men and women running for office in 2010 who said who they are, what they believe. They talked about the great principles that built this state and this country. Liberty, freedom, free enterprise, the rule of law, self-government, self-determination. And they said, our state's on the wrong track. Our country's on the wrong track. And just think about what was happening back then in 2010. Obamacare, Dodd-Frank, all this stuff. And then you had Scott Walker say, here's what I'm going to do if I get elected. Give me a legislature, elect me, and I will do these things to make sure that the hard-working taxpayer of Wisconsin is respected again. And then he got elected, and guess what he did after that? He did it! He went and did it! It took a lot of courage. And then we survived recall after recall. What they're trying to do is wear us down. They're trying to wear us down and get us not to go to the polls. Look, one of the challenges that Mitt Romney and I had in 2012 was we felt like we were sort of shadowboxing against big government in theory. All the promises sounded so good, the rhetoric was so great. Remember? If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Or if you like your healthcare plan, you can keep your healthcare plan. It's going to create all these green jobs. We're going to be so respected in the world. Well, guess what? We now have big government in practice. One of the challenges was, at the federal level, when they had everything, a super Democratic majority, in the first 2 years of the Obama presidency, they passed most of everything that they wanted to pass. But they delayed it until 2013. 2014. They delayed Obamacare. They delayed Dodd-Frank, which if you don't know what that is, that's Obamacare for banks. They delayed all these regulations. But now in 2013, now in 2014, we see what it looks like. We've got tens of millions of able-bodied adults in America not working or even having a chance to look for work. We've got a foreign policy fiasco in every corner of this country. We've got a military that's being disrespected, that's not getting what they need. We've got a healthcare law that is taking over healthcare from the government and putting the government in charge of our healthcare. We've got a debt crisis on the horizon because we have a government like an IRS that is not respecting the common template. But here in Wisconsin, we have courageous leaders who've told us who they are, what they believe, and they've gone and done it. And so what is happening? We know what big government progressives do. I ran against one in the last election, by the way. Mary Burke. Make no bones about this. Mary Burke is a big government progressive right out of Madison, Wisconsin. She's going to say and do everything to try and get elected. And what the other side is trying to do is to beat us down, to wear us down so that we don't go vote. Everybody asks me as I travel around this state, what can I do? Here's what you can do. Early voting's already started. Early voting, you can already do it up until this coming Friday. And you can also go help get your fellow citizens to the polls. Right here in Waukesha County. 1701 Pearl Street. That's the victory office right here in Waukesha County. If you came over from Walworth, I saw some friends over here from Walworth. 457 West Geneva Street in Elkhorn. These victory centers are open. They're running. Here's the deal. They've got paid organizers, paid community activists, paid community organizers running around this state trying to make sure that they can beat us. We have to do it with our brawn. We have to do it with our friends. We have to do it with the Wisconsinites. We have to do it with volunteers. At the end of the day, we're going to have to look back on this moment, the day after this election, the day we did everything we could. Call your friends, call your relatives, call everybody you know, and get them to the polls. Maybe somebody just doesn't have a ride or can't get there. Go get them, bring them to the polls. Here's the deal. Scott Walker was there for us. Scott Walker went through the gauntlet for us. I think what's going to happen is this country sees this fork in the road ahead of us. We see that our state is headed in the right direction, and we don't want to go backwards. We see that Washington and our country is headed in the wrong direction, and we want to send more men and women to stop that from happening. I think we're going to win the United States Senate. I think we're going to improve the House, and I think Scott Walker's going to get reelected as our governor of the state of Wisconsin, because what we're going to do is we're going to show up. We're going to get people to the polls. We're going to see it through. We're going to run through the tape. We're going to make sure that all this outside money, all these outside people can't run our state. We run our lives. We run our state. We deliver. And we're going to do it for those people who are fighting for us, aren't we? God bless you. I tell you, this year, this time, I would normally be in a tree stand right now. I'm not. You're not. You know why? Because everything's on the line. This matters so much. I see people walking around with these concealed carry shirts. You think we would have had that if we didn't have Scott Walker? No way. You think we would have seen your property taxes go down if we didn't have Scott Walker? No way. You think all these reforms that we're seeing in our schools, fixing the mess, you think we would have had that if we didn't have Scott Walker? No way. You know what? Scott and I, we take turns calling businesses to recruit them to come to Wisconsin because I represent the state line here. And the conversations always go the same. They say, oh yeah, I just heard from Scott Walker. I'm just following up Paul Ryan. I want to see if you can move, to Pleasant Prairie or to Waukesha. It's always the same conversation, especially when you talk to people from Illinois. It is, you folks in Wisconsin have cleaned up your act. You've got good, clean, efficient government that respects hardworking taxpayers. I want to move to Wisconsin. I want to bring my jobs there. I want to bring my company there because I see good government in Wisconsin. Let's not become Illinois. Let Illinois be Illinois. We're going to be Wisconsin. We pounded them today at Camp Randall. Let's make sure we run through the tape. Let's make sure we do this. Thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you so much for what you've done. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for your hard work. Let's see this thing through. Let's make sure that these people who fought for us in Madison, that we're going to go fight for them, that we're going to get everybody to the polls, that we're going to do this, and then we're going to wake up on Wednesday, on November the 5th, and we're going to know we did it, and we're going to be well on our way to saving our state and our country. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you all. Go Badgers, go Packers, go Walker, go Wisconsin. Thank you. Thanks, guys.